fighter jet. Here is a huge American flag. And then behind me, you can see some planes out that way. I'll zoom back out to them. And guess where I'm at? The National Museum for the United States Air Force. I'm here today and gonna explore it with my Uncle Bill. My Uncle Bill was in the Air Force, as were so many of my other family members. So we decided to come check it out. This place is amazing. Okay, so the Air Force Museum is divided into 4 basic hangars, but off of those hangars are different areas. So these are the early years, World War I, and these airplanes were built off of some of the frames and designs by the Wright brothers. So you can see how the elevator thing is in the front instead of in the back. That was a Wright brothers design. This is pretty cool to see. And then this one was built after a Wright brothers bicycle plan. And you can see the little bomb under the top wing. I'm not going to videotape the whole museum, as I say probably in all my museum videos, because you gotta come check this stuff out, but this is pretty cool. And then up in the air, they have even more airplanes. We'll go behind there in a second. I just wanted to show you. But the place is huge. Like, there's no way we're gonna get through it in a day. There's no way. So this side is entering the World War II part. And when I worked, I think it was my first job, or maybe my second job. I was 15 years old. And I worked for an accountant in downtown Phoenix, and he had all kinds of pictures of these World War II planes all over his desk. But the ones he had pictures of Pinup Girls and the sayings that were considered sort of vulgar or risque at the time. I'm going to see if I can find any of those while I'm here. So check this one out. Anyway, the other cool thing about exploring this place with my Uncle Bill is that he knows about all these planes. It's pretty cool. He doesn't even realize that I've ducked away from him for a minute. He might still be back there talking to me, explaining to me stuff about these planes. But anyway, I wanted to see if I could get any of the pictures of the Pinup Girls, because I just remember that. And I remember my grandpa had a few, but my grandpa wouldn't let me look at them. The accountant I worked for was David Gordon, which also made it pretty impressive. Was David Gordon was a Jewish man who fought in World War II on the American side. And I believe he was originally from France. There's the Memphis Belle, and in the gift shop they have all kinds of stuff for the Memphis Belle. You can see the Memphis Belle, you can see how many bombs it dropped, and then you can see a swastika on it. But where was I? Oh, so my grandpa was in the Air Force. And he had a few pictures of these planes, but he wouldn't let me look at them because I guess they had bad words or bad pictures of women. And that's something you don't want to show your granddaughter, I guess. But David Gordon, the accountant I worked for, he would let me look at them. And I really didn't. I mean, by today's terms, they're not inappropriate at all. But back then, I guess it could have been. But that was the first time I learned what poontang was. Just so you know. And I'm not going to tell you on the video. You'll have to look it up and figure it out for yourself. But anyway, I better catch back up to Uncle Bill before he realizes that I'm gone. Okay, when I tell you this place is huge, it's a complete understatement. That is a fighter jet with bombs. There's some more airplanes. I don't even know which hangar. I guess I'm in the Southeast Asia War hangar. And over here is the Korean War. But they actually have full-size planes in here. And some of them you can go in, and then over here they have a bunch of simulators. It's pretty cool. We are looking for one of the planes that's similar to what my Uncle Bill flew over there. Those are made by Boeing. Look at how big this 665 plane is. And you can see all the missiles and bombs. But we're going to go through there because we think the bigger planes that he flew are back there. Here we're entering the Cold War gallery. And it talks about rebuilding Germany, the Berlin Wall. On the other side of me is a bunch of the small model planes that represent all the real planes that were flown. Sorry, I had to pause for a minute. I thought somebody was talking to me. But this is a pretty cool display, and I think we're getting into the area where there's going to be the bigger planes. Like I said, this place, I'll take a picture of the map at the end so you can see how big it is, but I don't even think the map gives it justice. But there's 4 complete huge hangars, and then aside from the hangars, there's like side hangars in there. It's really neat. This is crazy. I can't take a picture of this plane because I can't even fit it in the whole frame of the camera. But look at how long that wing is. It's crazy. And then these ones over here, these are designed to land on water. And I guess in the next one, more from the era of some of my family members that were in the military. There's Dennis the Menace. I got one of those at home. Anyway, pretty cool. There's just so much stuff here. It's weird, I finally found a quiet part. I don't know, all the people aren't on this side. Maybe they don't know it's over here. Because some of the directions, they do give you a map, but some of them are a little bit crazy for me. But I've never been known to be a good map reader. Weird, this one's shaped. At first I thought it was broken because it's got this weird bend in it. But it's not. It's actually designed and shaped that way. And behind me there's an airplane where you can see the guts inside. But this is the CH-21B Workhorse. It's from the Cold War. They actually do a great job labeling this stuff so you know what it is. Plane I was talking about, see? You can actually see the guts inside. That's what it looks like when they peel a plane like an orange. And this is the crazy part. Those guns come right out right over the oxygen. Is that not insane? Look at that. The whole guts. But the craziest thing is, there's the bullets, there's the guns, and that one can't even be an inch away from that O2 tank. So this is cool. These are the missiles. And I guess my camera stopped a minute ago when I was moving them around. But look at how tall those are. And then you go back over here, can get to the top of that one, and it comes back down over here. They're huge. But the cool thing is, the volunteer we just spoke to actually used to work on missiles in the Air Force. And when you sit here and talk to them, most of these volunteers have some sort of connection to the Air Force, which is cool that you get, because then you get that interpersonal perspective. I just met one that worked on missiles. I met one that worked on logistics. I met another one that was a mechanic. Just pretty cool. Okay, these are where the bigger planes are held. These are the planes that actually flew like cargo over to wherever the war was. I'm saying wherever the war was because they represent all the different wars. But not only that, they would fly the Jeeps, the missiles, and then there's 2 presidential planes in here too. Pretty cool. I'm gonna try and go inside some of these. There are so many planes in here. It's like their wings overlap on each other. And this one is a space shuttle exhibit. There. But this is cool. The weird thing I have to tell you is it actually does smell like fuel in here. I don't know why or what that's about. Now this one is the U.S. Air Force one, and one of them is the one that brought Kennedy home, and one of them is the one from Roosevelt. But I'm not sure. They have that blocked off, but I think on the other side I can go in. If I go in, I will film them for you, but look at how huge. I know I keep saying how big they are, and I know airplanes are big, but I guess I've just never been this close to like the underbellies and cargo parts of them. Very crazy, right? Look at that. So this is the kind of plane that my Uncle Bill would have been on. Thing is huge. But they would put all kinds of cargo in here, drive Jeeps in here. There's a limited space for people. I think these red things flip down and people can be on them. And then those tubes are for oxygen. And here's all the seats. And then up there were beds. And up there is where the flight crew would be. We can't really see that part. And then over here is all kinds of signatures because this plane actually brought back prisoners of war. So people signed things for him. Okay, these ones over here are the presidential fleet. I almost said that wrong. Presidential fleet. Presidential gallery, it says. And then here's the one that took Roosevelt up. And there's his wheelchair. And the guy just told me that he didn't like to fly because he didn't like being carried up the steps in a wheelchair. So they built a special hangar for right here in order to take him up in a wheelchair. And we will go inside so we could see how that worked. Again, look at the ginormous tires. Look at how small the area for the flight crew would be. That's ridiculous to me. There's not much space in there at all. Look at that. Next time you fly, look at where the pilots sit and you'll see it's much bigger than this. Anyway, let's check it out. There's 2 bunk beds. The galley. I think it's still called a galley on a plane like it is on a ship. Oh, here's some tables. Look at the booths. Oh, another bunk. It's kind of cool that at least they could sit facing each other. Holy cow, extra chairs. Look at how small this is. Even without this glass to protect the airplane's really small. Oh wait, look. The presidential seal on it. And that's where they would bring up the wheelchair. You can't see it from down there, but that's where they'd bring it up. The Truman plane. I'm going to try and videotape going up the steps because that's kind of how, well, not kind of, that is how they approach the planes. But again, it's got like such a small cockpit. It's crazy. You have to duck to get in. And that's it. Boy, you hit it. One of those things with your knee and I don't know what's going to happen. There's the bathroom. It's kind of cool. But the Roosevelt one appeared to be a little fancier. Here's presidential playing cards. This one has bunks and booths too. It definitely could carry more people. Maybe this is when they started letting, what do you call it? The press on planes with them. Oh, see, here's the galley. Oh, this one has a bigger galley. Look at that. Oh, and this one has a sofa. So I guess it is as nice. Oh, and there's the presidential seal on the table. Gotta take a picture of that. Okay, that's weird. So there's a bathroom, a sink, a sectional. Pretty strange. From the top of the Stillwell, at the back of the planes, and I think that next plane right there with the blue tail is the one Kennedy came home in. So this is the airplane that brought JFK home, and these are the steps. I'm going to turn it off on the steps, but I wanted to try and get a lot of the airplane in the picture. But this is the one, U.S. Air Force, and that's it going all the way across. This cockpit is much bigger. Look at that. We could fit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. I wouldn't say they'd be comfortable, but you can fit them in there. And that is a control panel. That's where my Uncle Bill would sit if he was flying this plane. This is where all the information from the White House would come in and out. There's 2 chairs here, all kinds of controls. They definitely have much nicer, comfortable seats. Full leather. And then these are like bench seats. There's where people could work. In the bathroom, these are probably like press rooms or something. Oh, this one. Because none of them have that presidential seal on the table. So I don't think any of the presidents would be sitting in this area. Holy cow, look at this. This plane could carry a lot of people. Here's the gallery. And I don't know if you could hear that guy explaining it to his kid, but these 4 rows of seats were all removed so Kennedy's casket could be put in here. But I didn't see that presidential eagle symbol on any of the tables. So we must have been at a regular table up there. I'm in an airplane called the Rock. It is actually a troop carrier. Very crazy. And I think that is it for the day because they're chasing us out. Bye-bye. So there's tons of volunteers in here, and some of them sit by some of the aircraft, and some of them are sitting at a desk and will show you around. But the cool thing is they are all military. Every single one of them did something in the military, and if they're by a plane, they did something that actively involves that plane or a plane just like that one. And they will tell you their story, and that is pretty cool. Especially, I think, for all these kids that are out here, is because then they get to hear it. I mean, it's cool for me too, because I've never experienced a war and I've never been to war, so you get to hear some of their stories. I think it's been cool for my Uncle Bill to reminisce with people, but to watch the interest of the kids and then hearing the stories, because you know they have no understanding of. This guy was just saying, you know, I flew over Japan, and he was telling the story of what happened. It's hard to understand the story of what happened because we've never experienced that, and it's because we've been lucky enough to never experience that, because we have people willing to go fight for our freedom. And that is my soapbox for today, as I follow this guy out, because I think one of the volunteers is behind me chasing me because I'm walking slow and talking to myself. But anyway, I thought I would tell you that little spiel, and before he chases me totally out, I'm going to see what this spaceship looking thing is, because it's weird. Story about this plane for a minute, the one that has 06935. I was driving from Arizona to Montana once, and I swear on anything I can swear on that a plane just like this came out of a mountain and zoomed across the sky faster than I could stop my car and get out and pull out my phone and take a picture, which, just so you know, I did stop my car and get out, pull out my phone and take a picture, and it was already gone. But I was telling my Uncle Bill about it, and he thinks it may have been one of these. And he says that maybe not, those kind of things happen up in Montana. He doesn't know for sure. Either he doesn't know for sure, or he's not going to tell me. I'm not sure which. But it's pretty cool. And then there's this other littler flat one, which could have been it too, because like I said, it moves so fast. I have no idea. But it was definitely jet black. Anyway, that's it for today. We have to go. I will talk to everybody later. And I'm going to visit my Uncle Bill for a couple more days and then move further on into Ohio. Bye.